Good evening. I'm Tom Kasumpis, President and CEO of Capital Caring Health. Thank you for joining us for this year's Passion for Caring Gala, honoring the heroes among us. This year's gala is especially meaningful as we reflect on all of the individuals who often through great sacrifice have helped carry our community through the past few months. As I think back to last year's gala, when we were all gathered together, I know that none of us imagined where we would be this year and just how critical the work of Capital Caring Health would become as we entered the COVID-19 crisis. At last year's gala, we united around a goal of supporting our amazing home hospice program and raising funds to ensure care for everyone in our community, regardless of their ability to pay. The extraordinarily successful event generated more than 3,000 days of care for home patients in need. Little did we know that just a few months following last year's gala, we'd be mobilizing our teams to care for COVID-19 patients when many others could not, and working hand in hand with local hospitals to handle the incredible surge of patients in need of care. Our home hospice services have become more important than ever as our home suddenly became the safest place for dealing with advanced illness. Our nurses, doctors, nursing assistants, and our entire team rose to address the ever-changing needs of our community and have been heroes this year. That's why this year's gala theme is so important. It is to honor and to be able to help recognize the members of our community who have helped lead the way, whether it's been in healthcare, community service, or social justice. As we've watched this crisis unfold, it's been compounded by the systemic inequalities in healthcare, leaving communities of color reeling from COVID-19 and exploding after the murder of George Floyd. There have been many, many lives lost this year, each one leaving a deep hole in a family, in our community. In remembrance of their lives, I'd like to ask you to join me in a moment of silence in honor of those individuals and their families. Thank you. Capital Caring Health was founded on a legacy of caring for patients in crisis, from being one of the first in our community and in the country to help those affected with AIDS, to providing counseling support to first responders after 9/11. We continue to be there for our community, and COVID-19 has been no exception. Our team has paved the way to create best practices and innovate the way hospice organizations care for families facing COVID-19. We were one of the first in the country to install negative pressure rooms to make sure it possible for family members to still visit their loved ones in our care. We purchased UV ovens for sterilization and installed vaporized hydrogen peroxide VHP technology to decontaminate N95 masks to ensure the protection of our employees. Through this pandemic, we've also seen the stark realities of racism and the effect of health disparities, especially on Black, Indigenous, and Hispanic communities. The disproportionate rate of COVID has also raised to the forefront the ongoing health disparities when it comes to hospice and advanced illness care. To address these challenges, Capital Caring Health recently launched our Center for Equity, Inclusion, and Diversity, which will help ensure everyone in our community is empowered to make healthcare decisions and to have access to advanced illness care. This is why we are so grateful for each of you who are joining us this evening and for this year's Gala sponsors who are helping ensure the resources we need to provide this critical care to our community and address the challenges we'll face as we head into 2021. I especially want to thank Amazon, Sheehy Toyota of Stafford, Sheehy Toyota of Fredericksburg, the Direct Cremation Services of Virginia, Tegna and WUSA 9, Campion Asset Management, Delta Care, Mary Haft, Capital One, Epstein Becker Green, Quail Creek Promotions, and many, many more. I also want to recognize our incredible Gala chairs, Elisa Veludez-White, Senior Partner and CEO of the Merit Group, and Dr. John White, the Chief Medical Officer at WebMD. I can't say enough about the Whites. The Whites have been longtime Capital Caring supporters, and their leadership to help carry our Gala through the uncertainty this year cannot be overstated. We appreciate all they've done over the past few months to make this event possible and to raise awareness of the important need for hospice care and support during this difficult time. Finally, I want to thank Capital Caring Health's outstanding, extraordinary staff, our volunteers, and our board of directors, whose leadership has supported all of these extraordinary efforts. I hope that as you hear more this evening about our new initiatives and the outstanding heroes in our community that we are honoring, that you will join us at capitalcaring.org Gala to make a gift and participate in our exciting online auction. All the proceeds from the Gala will support Capital Caring Health's emerging needs from COVID-19, such as telehealth equipment in patients' homes, personal protective equipment for frontline staff, meal delivery to alleviate food insecurity for patients, expanded grief and support, and mental health services, increased pediatric care requirements, and patient care fund resources to care for new patients regardless of their ability to pay. Your support tonight will also be doubled up to $15,000 thanks to a generous match from our Gala chairs. Now, I'm pleased to introduce a short video highlighting some of the new initiatives and ways Capital Caring Health will continue to grow in the next year, expanding the many ways we care for families in our community. Stay tuned to also meet some extraordinary heroes, our 2020 Passion for Caring Award recipients.
As you know and probably understand, healthcare is changing rapidly in the United States. Not only the care that needs to be delivered better, but also the payment models that support those better care models. Our work at Innovations at Capital Caring Health is trying to anticipate where we're going and make sure that Capital Caring Health is positioned to thrive into the future.
So we started the Primary Care at Home program. It was essentially a house call program in January of 2020. And 2 months after that, COVID-19 hit. So we've been using our team of nurse practitioners, doctors, social workers, and nurses to go out to the patients' homes or do televideo to patients' homes and take care of all their medical issues over time so they don't have to go to the ER or to the hospital and keep them as safe as possible.
As you can imagine, many of families were outside of the hospitals, out of town, and really navigating that very delicate end-of-life conversation with both patients and families, but also providing ways in which those families could be present at bedside, whether it was through telemedicine, use of tablets, innovative techniques like Zoom, FaceTime, creating every opportunity to minimize the barriers to be with their loved ones at end of life.
We've also worked very, very hard to reposition a lot of the healthcare dialogue around the importance of being safe at home. There is no better place in the setting of a pandemic than to be at home, whether you have coronavirus or not. And so our core competence and expertise in home-based care has only become more and more important as an innovative solution that's part of our core strength.
Through the generous donations of our communities and our large financial and corporate entities, we're very proud to say from a place of confidence that we can meet you where you are, help assist in your end-of-life journeys without ability to pay, regardless of your immigration status, whether you're a vet, whether you're from another country, regardless of religion, preference. We meet you where you are, and if the funds aren't there, we're very fortunate to say that we can provide that with some assistance.
Capital Caring Health has funded and created a 24/7 on-call center with live nurse practitioners and doctors, if needed, who can help patients and families solve problems through the night so they don't have to call 911. That kind of support from caring human beings 24/7 makes a huge difference for them so they can keep their loved ones at home. It does have a financial cost. We have to hire all those people to work 24/7. And so philanthropy and community support is crucial so that we can keep that lifeline alive for people around the clock.
Currently, we have inpatient centers in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. We have the only inpatient center currently in DC and looking ahead to the opening of the Sibley Inpatient Center in the beginning of 2021.
We're looking to expand the geography of the program to other service areas of Capital Caring Health. We're going to use the lessons from COVID-19 to perhaps do more televideo, kind of learn how to take advantage of some new payment systems that might help make us more financially sustainable in the future.
The future has to be designed by all of us moving forward together. There is absolutely no way to fully leverage all of what Capital Caring Health can do without community support. Otherwise, we continue to work evenings and weekends trying to bring these innovative services to the market, to you all, to patients and families, with a huge opportunity to move it forward faster, stronger, and better with community support.
Hello, I'm Elisa Valutis-White, Senior Partner and CEO of Merit Group.
And I'm Dr. John White, Chief Medical Officer at WebMD.
Thank you for joining us for the annual Passion for Caring Gala. We are thrilled to serve as chairs during this milestone year to not only lead this gala through its first virtual event, but also as we celebrate the 30th anniversary of the gala. Since the inception of the gala, the event has been the single largest fundraising event for the organization, providing more than $5 million in care in the past 10 years alone.
As a physician, I've seen firsthand the enormous burden families face when a loved one is diagnosed with a serious illness. Having a resource like Capital Caring Health can make all the difference in the world, from providing expert care to counseling and caregiver resources. In the most challenging times, it's critical that families don't have to navigate this journey alone. Elisa and I have also personally experienced the compassionate care that hospice provides to families with our own loved ones. That's why we're so committed to supporting Capital Caring Health and are honored to be serving as chairs of this year's gala.
While we never envisioned this year's gala unfolding as a virtual event, we recognize that our support and this event is more important than ever. The COVID-19 crisis created an increased demand for charitable care, and as Capital Caring Health continues supporting the community through the recovery, we know there will be a greater need for other critical services, such as grief support, telehealth, and primary care at home. I hope you will join John and I to help ensure that Capital Caring Health has the resources needed to provide these services to those in need, regardless of their ability to pay. You can make a tax-deductible gift at capitalcaring.org/gala or place a bid on one of our fantastic auction items.
I hope that you'll bid high and that you'll make a gift online. We appreciate you joining us tonight and thank you for supporting Capital Caring Health. Now I'm pleased to introduce Capital Caring Health Board member Cliff Barnes to share more about the new efforts to address health disparities in our community.
Good evening. It is a pleasure to join you for this year's Passion for Caring Gala, honoring the heroes among us. As a member of the Capital Caring Health Board, I am honored to support this year's gala. This has been an unprecedented year as our nation faces the global pandemic, COVID-19, while at the same time experiencing unrest in our communities as a result of systematic injustices that have long affected us. As the dialogue on race gains national attention, Capital Caring is seeing the manifestations of this crisis at the forefront of our work to address the disparities that racial and ethnic injustices have helped to create. We now know that generations of health disparities have left communities of color more vulnerable to COVID-19 with devastating consequences. As one of the nation's leading nonprofit advanced illness care providers, we know that disparities have had catastrophic consequences on the Black, Indigenous, and people of color's ability to access hospice care, which has resulted in significantly lower utilization rates. That is why I'm proud of Capital Caring Health's commitment to address these barriers and increase access to advanced illness care for generations to come. As Tom Kasumpis, our president and CEO, shared, Capital Caring Health is leading the way by creating one of the nation's first ever Hospice Center for Equity, Inclusion, and Diversity to improve access to care for members of demographics that have been historically underserved by hospice and the healthcare system at large, including African American, Hispanic, Asian, Jewish, and the LGBTQ+ communities. This center will also develop integrative approaches and programs as well as educational materials to reach diverse populations we serve and focus on attracting and retaining a talented, diverse workforce. As we move forward, our commitment to serve diverse communities will continue guiding our work and help accelerate access to care as we amplify national calls for attention to address health disparities that are plaguing our country. I invite each of you watching tonight to visit Capital Caring Health's website and learn more about the Center for Equity, Inclusion, and Diversity. I also hope that you will join me in making a tax-deductible gift to support our gala and participate in this year's auction. Don't forget that every dollar you contribute will be matched to double your impact. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dan D'Agostino, and I currently serve as the chair of the Capital Caring Health Board of Directors. On behalf of our board, it's my honor to help give recognition to the countless heroes who have not stopped serving their respective communities throughout the COVID-19 pandemic crisis or in the fight for social justice, both of which continue to be front and center in our lives. From the many frontline healthcare workers in numerous provider settings, like the incredible Capital Caring Health teams, to the delivery personnel, grocery store employees, community organizers, volunteers, and many, many others. Our neighbors have and continue to go above and beyond each other, and in particular, those in need. It is this type of compassion for each other that has been the foundation and tradition of Capital Caring Health for more than 40 years. It is a kind of empathy, consideration, and approach that we need more of in the world today. Like many other nonprofit hospice organizations around the country, Capital Caring Health was founded by local volunteers who realized the potential that hospice care has to improve quality of life for those with advanced illnesses with dignity and comfort, and not only ease the burden of family caregivers in these most difficult situations, but provide needed support as well. This caregiving approach is what inspired me many years ago during a former career when I first got to know what was then the Hospice of Northern Virginia in Alexandria. And it continues to motivate me to join the many volunteers in assisting Capital Caring Health and their mission-driven goals. As the organization has grown to become one of the largest nonprofit hospice organizations in the country, it has also expanded its service lines and become a model for innovation and leadership, providing more than $3 million in charitable care to the communities we serve on an annual basis. As part of the 2020 Gala, I am thrilled that for the first time ever, Capital Caring Health asked for nominations from the community to help recognize all of those volunteer heroes for this year's Passion for Caring Award recipients. We are very grateful for the dozens of nominations we received and the incredible stories shared of the ways these individuals have cared for their community. From the amazing nurses, doctors, aides, and others, to community organizers leading marches for social justice and being advocates for change, it has been an honor for Capital Caring Health to share in all of the ways, both large and small, that have helped others during these challenging times. As you meet 3 of this year's outstanding Passion for Caring Award recipients, I hope that you become as inspired as we are of their dedication, their passion, their commitment, and their many contributions. Finally, before I finish, I'd like to mention 2 other things. First, like many of you have likely experienced, my family and I have recently been personally exposed to the exceptional care and compassion that can be rendered by hospice providers, as our father is currently receiving hospice care in Delaware during his end-of-life stage chapter. Secondly, I also know firsthand that nearly all nonprofit hospice providers rely on donations to assist in meeting their financial needs. So I stand before you and I remind everyone that, as you've heard throughout the evening from our President and CEO, Tom Kasumkas, and our outstanding Gala chairs, Elisa and John White, we once again request your assistance to help this organization continue providing the much-needed care and critical services to our community and achieve its mission and its goals. Please join us in making a gift tonight, or when you can, and/or bidding on an auction item online at capitalcaring.org/gala. I thank you for joining in this somewhat different yet innovative gala venue. I also want to again give thanks to our sponsors for their support, and to Tom and the gala chairs for allowing me to reach out to each of you. And finally, I truly do hope you enjoyed learning more about this year's Passion for Caring Award winners. Thanks again for tuning in and being part of our gala.
The Passion for Caring Hero Award in Healthcare is presented to Peggy Ledbetter. Peggy is a Capital Caring Health volunteer and registered nurse at Inova. Peggy's nominator shared, Peggy answered the call of nursing after becoming a Capital Caring Health volunteer. As a volunteer, she learned the impact one person can have on another at the end of life, and she wanted to help more and felt nursing was the way to do so. Peggy applied to the competitive accelerated nursing program at George Mason University, and throughout this intense coursework, Peggy continued to volunteer for Capital Caring Health. Upon graduation, she was hired by Inova Mount Vernon Hospital and completed her shadowing nursing orientation when COVID-19 hit. Peggy experienced caring for the sickest of the sick, and her training as a hospice volunteer was put to practice. She not only cared for her patients, but also their families, calling so families could say last goodbyes. As a new registered nurse, just completing her orientation, Peggy felt many emotions. She worked long hours, but still made sure to focus on her volunteer work for Capital Caring Health. She would call her patients each week, and when she couldn't get a patient on the phone, she sent cards and even made a beautiful care basket. Her many acts of kindness provided our patients with great comfort during this difficult time. As a new nurse, I can't imagine the fear Peggy must have felt as she cared for so many COVID-19 patients in the hospital. She handled herself with grace, professionalism, compassion, and love. Peggy always puts patients and their families first. Her work shows this. Peggy is a true healthcare hero.
Hi everyone, and thank you. I'm so deeply honored to have been selected for this Hero in Healthcare Award. Thank you, Catherine Noble, for nominating me, and thank you for all you do for us volunteers and for patients and for their families. My work as a nurse has been so greatly impacted by my work as a hospice volunteer, so that when I entered nursing, I knew not just the value of putting the patient first, but also their family, which is what has made this year so difficult, because so many people have been separated from physical contact with their loved ones due to COVID-19. It's been a very difficult year for so many people, and it's been a challenging year to be a new nurse. which has made me so grateful for my Capital Caring Health family. Thank you to all the beautiful souls who sent me cards filled with encouraging words that I would come home almost nightly during the height of the pandemic in April and May. And I want to extend a heartfelt thank you from all the doctors, nurses, techs, and physical therapists at the unit at my hospital who received so many beautiful sewn scrub caps from Capital Caring volunteers. Every day I go to work and I see this concrete evidence of caring compassion on all my colleagues' heads. Everyone that I've met at Capital Caring Health, from volunteers to chaplains to nurses and doctors and social workers, everyone has been such wonderful, amazing people whom I feel I've received so much more than I've given, that I'm just so grateful to be part of this team and for this recognition. Thank you.
The Passion for Caring Community Hero Award is presented to Frank Sherman, Chief Executive Officer of Transportation Management Services. Frank's nominator shared that when Frank heard how difficult it was to acquire masks for our staff who were taking care of patients in all settings, he was horrified. On his own, and to no one's knowledge, he used his own financial resources and international contacts to acquire thousands of face masks from overseas and get them through the Port Authority in a matter of 2 weeks' time. He called one day to tell us he had masks and to make sure we got some for the Capital Caring staff. At the time, we were down to our last supplies. Capital Caring Health was able to buy 20,000 thanks to Frank. This was enough to take care of staff until we were able to get them from our regular vendor. What we didn't know until recently is that Frank never billed Capital Caring Health and has no intention of doing that. It was his way of making a difference when no one else at the time could help. He certainly was my hero at a time of need.
Hi, my name's Frank Sherman, and I want to thank Capital Caring Health for honoring me as your community hero. I'm certainly no hero. In fact, I find I get great pleasure from helping the frontline workers who do an amazing job all year round, all for years now, helping the elderly in nursing homes and in hospice. And to think you had to do all this with the COVID crisis, I don't know how you did it. So thank you for the opportunity to be of service to you.
The Passion for Caring Social Justice Hero Award is presented to Dr. Gloria Thomas Anderson, licensed master social worker, advanced care planning expert, and author. Gloria's nominator shared that Dr. Thomas Anderson developed a program, the African American Spiritual and Ethical Guide to Advanced Care Planning. The program is culturally sensitive to the needs of people who face a history of being neglected, oppressed, and treated unjustly by the American healthcare system, while raising the opportunity of advanced care planning as a way of being empowered to live one's life fully and in line with one's preferences. Dr. Anderson conducts programs across the United States on this topic. She serves on the steering committee of the Coalition to Transform Advanced Care's Interfaith and Diversity Work Group and is a professor of social work at North Carolina State University. Her program and outreach to address health disparities has changed the lives of thousands of people by opening up the power to name a decision maker and making their preferences about medical treatments known. She is truly a hero in the fight for health equity.
Thank you, Capital Caring. I am so honored and so excited to learn that I am a recipient of the Passion for Caring Award this year. Thank you so very much. I've had the distinct pleasure of working with Capital Caring and some of the most phenomenal people you've ever met, like Ryan and Donna and Carolyn and Chip, just to name a few. But I am so grateful for the opportunity to serve alongside you to bring about credible and culturally relevant materials and resources to the African American communities that you serve. I graciously accept this award. I accept it on behalf of all of those individuals that are committed to the cause of social justice and wanting to see racism dismantled in our country, not only in healthcare, but in every area of society. So again, thank you for this great honor. I am just blown away and really, truly grateful from the bottom of my heart. God bless you all.
What amazing stories and incredible heroes. It's been such a pleasure spending this evening with you and having the opportunity to help honor those amazing heroes amongst us. Thank you again to our fantastic sponsors who help support our work day in and day out. A special thank you to Amazon, Sheehy Toyota of Stafford, Sheehy Toyota of Fredericksburg, Direct Cremation Services of Virginia, Tegna and WUSA 9, Campion Asset Management, Delta Care, Mary Haft, Capital One, Epstein Becker Green, Quail Creek Promotions, and so many more. I also want to thank all of our speakers tonight, our board chair, Dan D'Agostino, and board member, Cliff Barnes, along with our entire board for their endless support. I especially want to recognize our amazing gala chairs, Elisa Veludez-White and Dr. John White, for their leadership and guidance this year as we've navigated the challenges of hosting an event in these very uncertain times. We are tremendously grateful for their support and are thrilled that they have generously agreed to serve as our chairs again next year, when we hopefully will be able to meet together in person once again. And don't forget to place your bids in our online auction, which closes Friday, October the 9th. There are some fantastic items there, and you can also make a tax-deductible donation, which will be doubled thanks to a special match from our gala chairs. And finally, I am pleased to conclude our program by returning to the heart of all that we are, the compassionate work of all of our frontline workers. In addition to all of those amazing individuals who were nominated for awards this year, there are hundreds of our own Capital Caring Health staff members and tireless volunteers who have worked selflessly since the pandemic hit to serve our community. From providing surge relief for our hospitals to those comforting moments helping families in the midst of agonizing loss. I cannot tell you how proud I am of each and every one of you. I am so grateful for the love and care you provide to anyone in our community in need of help. As we close, I'm proud to share some photos of our own team, along with more of the outstanding hero nominations we received. Thank you again from the bottom of our hearts for your extraordinary generosity.